Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time I did a video and I'm super sorry, and I'm going to skip the excuses because I have no excuse to give you guys why I haven't made a video, uploaded anything in a long time. I am super grateful for the support I've received. I received lots of emails. I've received new subscribers, even though I've been inactive for a long time, and I'm super so thank you for you guys. And guys, happy holidays. It's the Christmas season and I wish you guys all the best this season, and well, many merriments. That's why the COVID-19 situation. So without further ado, I'm going to delve into the topic for today, which is knowing your financial tools as an immigrant. It can get really overwhelming because I know when I got here and I went to the bank to open accounts, I swear half of the things the the service rep was talking about are like, shit, it's so foreign to me. And like, I was looking. So thankfully I had my cousin there with me, so she was one who was answering the questions, trying to explain things to me. For me, it was like different foreign words, like different things I was trying to like wrap around my head, which was really overwhelming for me. So I tried to help you guys with things like that and talk about things like financial tools here in Canada. I have my list here, which is super long. I don't know if you guys can see it. So trust me, there are a lot of things that are not on this list, which are equally important. But I'm going to just talk about this for today and summarize the rest in another video. And if you need more information on this, any of this, please let me know, and I'll be really happy to talk about it. And I promise not to disappear on you guys again, hopefully. And yeah, I'm actually like really doing in the process in the past few months. I've been really doing a lot with my personal life and career wise and personal life. So yeah, a lot of things actually take my time at the moment, but I will try not to disappear on you guys again, promise, fingers crossed. So anyway, yeah, into the video. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the credit card. So I remember having a conversation with my colleague some weeks back, and we're like, oh, how do you guys pay for things in Nigeria? And I was like, we have debit cards, we have the we pay with cash, we pay with check. He was like, what about credit cards? I'm like, nope. That credit card is something that I've recently got to find recently found out about when I moved to this country. I know the other countries outside Nigeria that don't use credit cards, so I don't know anyone at the top of my mind right now. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about Nigeria because I'm Nigerian and I lived in Nigeria all my life for moving here. So yeah, credit cards is something that might sound foreign to you, and you might not really know the importance of credit cards in this country. So I'm going to talk about that as my first tool. So basically, credit cards is just funds in a card. So it's basically like your debit card, the same way your debit card looks, the same way credit card looks. So the funds in the card belongs to you, but literally technically doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your financial institution. So whichever bank you choose to bank with when you move here will offer you credit cards depending on what you provide them. So yeah, most banks, the big five banks, the RBC, TD, BMO, there's one more, CIBC, yeah. So yeah, depending on the bank, I know for newcomers they offer like 1,000 limit credit card limit, offer 2,000 credit card limit. So depending on the bank you choose to go to, you offer the limits. So for a credit card, the funds belongs to you, but doesn't belong to you. Like the bank is borrowing you, giving you funds in a card form that you can use in case of emergency. You can pay for things that will that can help you build your credit score. So long as you use the funds in this card and pay back on time, you're good to go. But if you use the funds in this card and you don't pay back within the interest-free grace period, you're doomed. I'm joking, not doomed, but you're going to start accumulating interest rates, and the average interest rate for purchases with your credit card is 19.99%. I know for some banks is around 20%. So we have two things for your credit cards. We have the cash advance and the purchase. So purchase is basically you use your card to buy things online in stores, so that's fine. Then the cash advance is when you get cash out of your credit card. So so the funds in the credit card you wish sorry, you wish to get, let's say, certain amounts out of that credit card in the form of cash. That is cash advance, and that is that the interest rate for that is higher. So I think the interest rate for cash advance is about 29.99%. So credit cards, it's a really good tool to use, and I won't tell you don't use, because personally I use my credit cards a lot. So I won't tell you don't use your credit cards. You have to use your credit cards. You must use your credit. Well, you must not use your credit card, but it's recommended you actually have a credit card, because you're going to hear people talk about your credit score. If you want to buy a house or a car, you want to rent an apartment, you're going to hear them ask, some landlords will ask about your credit reports. They want to see if you're credit worthy, if you're loan worthy, if you borrow, you're going to pay back the money on time. So I know it's a big deal here. So credit cards are a big deal here. So that's one thing. And for credit cards, we have your credit cards and debit cards. You have the tap option. So basically the tap option allows you to pay for things without inserting your card. So it's just like you have a card. I'm just going to use something, use this. So assuming this is the POS machine and this is the card. So basically just place your card on the card reader. The card reader reads the card reader reads the card info and processes the transaction. So you don't need to insert the card and punch in your pins. That's old school, or not old school, but people still do it, so don't mind me. So you don't need to insert your card to pay for things. So you have to first activate your card before you can start using tap option. So when I say activate, basically it's just inserting the card first at a POS or at an ATM machine. So you have to first activate your card before you can use the tap option. So for security, yes. So there was a time I remember asking my cousin, okay, for security, yeah. For instance, if your card gets stolen, or you miss your card, so if anyone picks your card or wherever, the person can have access to all the funds in your account, on your card, your debit card, or your account, or your credit card. So like no, because there's a tap limit. So basically, I know for some grocery stores or some places, you can't tap over a certain limit. So if a certain amount, so if you have a purchase over, let's say the tap limit is $500. If you have a purchase that is over $500, you have to insert your card. So there's a form of security or an umbrella covering or protecting your card in event you misplace your card. So I recommend keep your card safe. Yes, even though there's a form of security, keep your card safe. If you by chance misplace your card, or you think you misplaced your card, call up your bank and cancel your card immediately, because you don't want your card to get into the wrong hands. So have like a card pouch, which is, yes, I think I'll get anywhere. Get a card pouch where you can keep all your cards in one place, so which is keeping it safe basically. So another thing is we have is the PC card. So for the PC card, basically the PC card is also, they call it PC Optimum card. So with this card, like, it's also like a credit card. I just recently got mine, so I've not used it yet, so I can't really talk much about that. So basically, like, it's a credit card. Yes, it's a credit card. So with this card, you win points for every dollar you spend, which you can redeem at a designated store like Loblaw, Superstore, Shoppers Drug Mart. So it was recommended to me by my colleague, and was like, this is one of the fastest ways to grow your credit score. So it makes sense, because I've seen lots of people talk about PC card a lot everywhere, but I haven't used mine, so I can't say this is it. But when I do much more research on that, I'm going to do a separate video on PC card. And also one more thing, we have different types of credit cards. We have the cashback, we have the Visa Infinite, we have the Flex, and we have the cards for business owners. So for the cashback, which I recommend you get when you come here, and a lot of people actually recommend it, with this cashback card you get cashback for your purchases, and you can redeem the cash the funds when you reach a limit. You set a minimum amount. So for TD Bank, you can only request a withdraw on your cashback when you have a minimum of $25 on the cashback account. It's not an account per se, it's just in your credit card statement. So statement or credit card statement, yeah. So that's another thing. And so now I'm moving on to debit cards. Debit cards is the same thing everywhere in the world. Debit cards, ATM cards, debit cards. But here a lot of people call it, oh, do you have a Visa? I'm like, well, first time I heard a Visa, I'm like, what's that? So basically, even to say Visa, like your debit card. So I go to people don't really call it, oh, an ATM card. They call it debit cards a lot. You can see ATM card in articles or wherever, but when people talk about it, debit cards, not really ATM cards. I don't know, maybe they feel it's longer to pronounce or to say, but you go to hear people say debit cards, which, yeah. So debit cards is the same thing everywhere. It's the same thing. There's nothing different with debit cards in Nigeria and debit cards in your country and debit cards here in Canada. So you're good about that. And also we have what we call quick loans, we have what we call loans, we have what we call line of credit. So quick loans, as the name implies, quick money. So quick loans is loans you can get in the space of 1 to 2 weeks. The process isn't as long as it's not as long as the regular loan, or the regular loan. So for between the amount of $0 to $5,000, so anything above $5,000 is not classified as a quick loan. It's classified as a regular loan. So quick loans, you can get it in a week, 2 weeks, depending on your financial institution. And the interest rates, I would say, is within the same class of a credit card interest rates. I don't think if I mentioned that credit card interest rates, it's 19.99 on average, but for cash advance about 29.99 per annum. So the interest for quick loans, it's lesser than the credit card interest rate, but still a bit high. So most people get this loan if they have like an emergency. Well, not a quick an emergency that needs met at that minute, but like maybe emergency in the next 1 month or 2 weeks. So people go for quick loan just to meet up with that need. So for quick loan, the process is trust me, it's pretty easy and it's pretty straightforward. You're going to need your credit report to apply for a quick loan. You need your IDs. So when you come here, please get your photo ID card. If you're Ontario, if you're in any other province, get your photo ID card because it's really important. Apply for a health card is to stay for a form of insurance coverage in this pandemic. So I know for quick loans, I'm going to ask for a credit report. So a credit report is basically your credit history, how good you are be paying back loans. It also has your credit score. So it's like a report of you and your finances and how your finances is, basically something like that. So yeah, that's another financial tool you're going to hear about a lot about in Canada. So moving on to the next one, we have loans. So loans is anything 5,000 and above. It's not one quality. It's also a quick loan is also a loan. A loan is also a loan. So basically, the loan is just, I think it's just a much longer process, and it's you might need extra paperwork for that. So loan interest rates at the same time super crazy. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're thinking of taking a loan in the future. So always keep in mind interest rates is it worth taking taking on the loan? I know that at times you might need a loan for something or personal leave for anything, so always keep in mind, okay, the interest rates, does it make sense, does it not make sense, and find other options. I know different loan places you can apply for loans, even not a financial institution, at different places you can apply for loans, so always keep in mind the interest rates. So another thing we have is a line of credit. So this is a flexible loan with a flexible payments option, and you only pay interest rates on the amounts you use, not on the entire funds you borrow. So let's say you have a line of credit of $500 and you use only 300. You only pay interest rate on that $300, not the entire $500. So people go for this option when they have like a real emergency and they need access to funds. And the good thing about line of credit is that the interest rate is super low. It's super low when compared to credit cards and loans and quick loans. It's super low, is lower than the credit card and all of that. So you are going to see people talk about, oh, line of credit. So you can always just read about that online, and if you're ever in need of a line of credit, you can approach your financial institution, ask them, know what are requirements, and know something you can do. So that's another financial tool you need to know as an immigrant. So another thing I'm going to talk about is the Interac. So Interac is basically, simply put, I don't like calling it Interac, is just a complex thing. It's like email transfer. Simply put, also called email transfer. So basically sending money to someone else using just that email address. Super cool, right? You know, super cool. I'm going to be talking about the types of accounts here in Canada. So here we have the checking account, US checking account, investment savings account, and yeah, I think basically those are the main accounts. I know in Nigeria we have fixed accounts, current accounts, and savings accounts. So it's quite different here. It's a little bit quite different here. So I'm just going to explain what accounts is what and what they do. So for the checking accounts, is something you use for your everyday transactions, like to receive your debits, for prioritized debits, for prioritized credits, for your direct deposits, for like maybe your paycheck, and basically for everything. Use a check account for basically everything, to receive funds, to send funds, that's it. So for the checking account, there are different types of checking accounts. So this is where it gets really tricky, and I will tell you, be smart about it. I know when you come here, I'm going to offer you a free unlimited checking account for 1 year as a newcomer, which I got that, but no, for 6 months. Yeah, for 6 months. So the mistake I made was that because I didn't really understand what the foreign language we were just speaking. I didn't really understand, so I didn't even know that after 6 months my monthly fee will go up to $16.95 or so every month for my unlimited checking account. So one day I logged onto my mobile app and I was like, shit, why am I charged $16? I'm like, whoa, that's my monthly fee. So I would recommend that take advantage of the unlimited checking account. If they offer that to you, but if they don't, then you look for your option. Take advantage of the free unlimited checking account for 6 months as one of the perks of a newcomer. But once that 6 months elapses, try and see if you can change. If you're comfortable paying the monthly fee for that unlimited checking account, fine, you can stick to it. But if you don't do so much transactions per month, there are other options, checking account options. So I know TD has a limited checking account. They also have the TD everyday checking accounts. They have the TD youth accounts. There are a lot of checking account options. So weigh your options, see which one you're more comfortable doing. I know for me, I wasn't comfortable paying $16.95 per month, because I don't do much transactions, because I'm still new. I don't really have people that I'm sending money to yet. So I decided to switch my account from a TD or limited to a TD everyday checking account. So depending on that, trust me guys, you don't, the thing about this country is that you can have debits on your account and you won't really know what it's for because you're new and it's expected. So make sure you read more about all of this and you make inquiries. You ask your bank all this necessary questions. Okay, what's my interest rate, what's my monthly fee, things like that. Because I know my colleague also made a statement that he was offered an unlimited checking account, and when it's the free checking account expired, he decided to switch to the everyday account. But because he wasn't informed about the extra transaction fee, he ended up paying $40 per month for the monthly fee for that month. Like, he was super upset. So things like that can happen. So I'm just saying, you just be careful and make sure you're always up to date with your finances, with your bank, with your accounts. Make sure you're always up to date. Every week or every 2 days, make sure you check your account, see your account is safe. Just keep track of your expenses and your spending. So that's a good thing. So we also have the savings account. So for the savings account, I won't recommend you doing an interact payment or interact transfer from your savings account, because there's a fee. At the end of that. I think I was charged a $3 fee. I don't know if that's the monthly fee or that was the fee for the interact transfer. So never ever use your savings account for an interact transaction. If you want to do an interact transaction and you don't have funds in your checking account, you can simply move the funds from your savings to your checking without being charged anything. So you can now do the interact transfer from your checking account to whoever you're sending money to. So try as much as possible not to do transactions from your savings accounts. Trust me, it's smart. That's one thing I learned the hard way. So keep that in mind. Another thing is that when you're giving out to direct deposit information, like you get a job, also want to ask you for your direct deposit information, never give your savings account. Never give your checking account instead, because if you give your savings account, you're going to be charged fee. I think these are things I actually learned the hard way, and God, it really hurt me, man, pained me, because I don't like losing money for real. So these are things I learned the hard way. So your savings account is just for, it's basically, they call it savings because it's made for savings. It's not like, I know in Nigeria, your savings account is like a checking account. You can use your savings account for basically everything, but here it's like the name implies, it's for savings. So if anything you do from that account, you can be charged from that account. So your savings account is for savings. Don't do transactions like to another person from your savings account. You can do that from your from your checking account. So yeah, that's one thing. And also there's something we call, and so it's something that applies to your US checking account. This US checking account same as your Canadian checking account, but I know there's a fee, monthly fee. I had a US account once, but I can't remember how much I was paying per month. And there's a monthly fee for that. So the same thing with your checking account. Just that it's just US funds in it. So another thing I'm going to talk about is the transaction limits per month. So the good thing about this, the good thing with your account here is that you can set your transaction limits. I think you can set transaction limits, and also you're going to hear people or your bank talk about overdraft protection. I know for TD Bank, the overdraft protection is $300, and it's for me it's $300. So basically this is the funds. This country, and let me tell you one time about this country, they can give you money, but when you don't pay back the interest, when you don't pay that money back on time, God, you will be, because the interest rates be crazy. So when your account is overdrawn, your checking account is overdrawn, because overdraft applies just checking account, not savings accounts. So when your checking account is overdrawn, you're charged $5 daily, for real, until you put down funds back. So never ever let your account go to negative. Make sure you like one time I used to tell people, make sure you're always up to date with your finances. Check your accounts every time. Never let your accounts go negative, because it's crazy. I'm not sure if you can request for them to remove the overdraft. I think you can. So if you can and you're not comfortable doing that, using having an overdraft protection account, because sometimes you can spend funds, think you have the funds in your account, but yeah, you might not have it, and you go into your account is overdrawn, and you won't even know your account is overdrawn, and you're busy taking $5 every day. So see if it's an option you can refuse. If not, it's fine. Just make sure you are up to date with your account. And yeah, so for the overdraft, basically it's the bank telling you, okay, for your checking account you have a $3 overdraft protection. So even if you pay for something and you don't have the funds is taking, the extra funds taken from your overdraft protection. So basically, when you sign on to your mobile app or the bank or your online banking, you're going to see it won't show on your debit statements per se. It's not on the, what's what now? When you log in, it won't show on the login place on your, sorry, not login place, what's that word? On the first page you see when you log in, it won't show. Yeah, just find what my head. It won't show, but when you go to your checking account, you're going to see it there, like, oh, it shows the overdraft amount plus the current amount. So let's say you have about $500 in your checking account. Your account will now show $800. That is the $300 plus $500, $800 are what you have in your account. Basically, the $300 does not belong to you; it belongs to the bank. So it's something you can just use in case of emergency, or you can just have in case of emergency. Yeah, I think I've spoken for too long. I'm so tired. Yeah, so that's basically the basic financial tools you need to know. That actually is broad. There are other things. So if you want me to dive deeper into any of these tools, please let me know, and I'm going to talk about that. And thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me even though I was absent for a long time. Thanks for the new subscribers. Thank you to my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you like it. If you do, or if you did, thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, ask your questions, and send you my love. Sae, like my to say, Sae. If you're Korean, you know that this is like 18 for Korean. I love you guys.